If your child is unhappy and doesn't want to go to school, what should you do? I spoke to Educational Psychologist Mel Jones to find out. Obviously, no parent wants to be left at the school gate with their child tightly wrapped around their ankles. What advice can you give to parents whose children are unhappy about going to school?
It's a difficult one, really, for everybody involved. All behaviour is communication. So the behaviour that you're seeing is the child's communication. They're trying to tell you something. And I think the first place to start is to just watch what they're telling you. So are they always not happy to go to school? Is it just a Monday? Is it that they're not happy on the day they take their homework in? And by paying attention to their behaviour, then you can start to see where the exceptions are and where, you know, they're really telling you they're not happy.
Okay, so what can a parent do to support a child themselves?
Well, I think the important thing is to stay positive and to stay as relaxed as you can. Reassure your child that all children at some point find school difficult and that these problems are problems that can be solved. And then it's a case of listening to them, really. They're good problem solvers, children, so try and find a good time to sit down and have that talk so that you can listen to what they think might be helpful for them.
And how should you approach talking about the subject of being unhappy at school?
Well, this is the bit that is quite tricky because as a parent you naturally worry, but it's really important to be positive. Ask them first what's gone well about their day, ask them what sort of achievements they've had and praise them for that. What's their view about what's happening and what do they think is going to help solve the problem?
What specifically can you do to help?
The thing that you're really in a good place to do, which perhaps other people aren't, is to do a health check on the family routines. So there are some things that can just ease the problem straight away. So making sure that your child's getting a good night's sleep, making sure that they're eating well and exercising. It's really hard, but if you can make sure you've got predictable and stable, calm bedtime routines and getting up in the morning routines, those are the things that are going to calm things down and make other issues a lot more manageable to deal with. Some children find that taking an item or an object from home into school helps them with the transition through the school door. They may want to go in with a friend, or you might be able to arrange for them to do an important job when they go in so that they're straight in and straight into something that they know what they're doing, and that gets round some of the issues that they might be facing about being nervous about going through the door.
What about for older children that are in secondary school? Is there a different approach you want to take with teenagers, for example?
Yeah, that's slightly different, although the principles are perhaps still the same. With older children, a famous psychologist once said, if you don't know what's wrong with someone, ask them and they may tell you. And with older children, that is the key, is maintaining that open communication and that ability to have the conversations about what's going well and what's not going well. And again, children who are older have a better understanding of what's happening, they have a better understanding of their own emotions, so it's even more important to ask them and find out what their view of the problem is and find out what they think will solve the problem.
What about if the problem persists? What should you do then?
Most children have an unsettled period at school. Quite often it's the start of term, but really, you know, after sort of 4 weeks or so, these problems you should be seeing signs of them starting to solve themselves. If that's not the case, it is really important that you go and talk to your teacher and work together to try and sort these situations out. So when you do go and talk to your teacher, again, try to be positive and try and stay as solution focused as you can with the idea that you're going to work together to solve the problem.
Thanks, Mel. Do you have any further advice you'd like to give to a parent in this situation?
So I would really urge parents to take a little bit of time for themselves, maybe some extra time to talk to a friend or their partner or a family member out of earshot of your child, so that you can really kind of talk about all the things that you want to talk about and your frustrations, so that on the next Monday morning you're ready to be calm and supportive for your child.